Hello, and welcome back to another episode of An Unorthodox CEO. I am Steve Pickering, CEO of Sussex Beds, and today we are joined by Tony White, Managing Director of Bonner's Music.
Hello.
Woo! Let's have It's like Steve Wright.
It's my moment. This is my big moment.
We're going to be chatting all things music and retail, and Tony is actually a star of YouTube as well. So we're going to be talking YouTube.
We certainly are.
We are.
I thought you were going to ask me, I thought you were going to say, and Tony's going to play for you.
Yeah. No. You should have done that. We lost. Yeah, we're going to have to come back now. So before we go any further, don't forget to press that subscribe button because you do not want to miss any future episodes.
No, you don't.
Yep. Few people have subscribed. Yes, good. Right, we'll move on. Welcome, Tony.
Thank you.
Hello.
Good to be here.
You're good to be here. So we had a little meet-up a few weeks ago. So we've met through Vistage.
That's it. Yeah.
And thought, let's get together because two retailing businesses in Sussex.
I know. I can't believe we haven't met before. That's the thing.
No.
We've both been in Sussex, and what you just said to me, your shop was down the road from our shop, literally down the road.
Yes.
For what? How many years were you there?
So we had Langley Road in Eastbourne shop. We opened that in 1988 and eventually closed in 2012. I think I was there 1989, probably for about 3 or 4 years before we went on to another shop. But so beginning of the 90s, I would have been there, and you were working along the road. Yeah,
well, actually, at that time, I was we were in a different part of town.
Oh, was you?
Yes, we started somewhere else. We started in the posher part of town.
Yeah, and then you come down to
then we get more space for the money though.
You did.
Hence, beds and pianos. So, when was it? 88?
88.
So I joined the company in 89.
1989, at the age of
15.
15.
Yes, that was a work experience placement.
Really,
but that was out of choice because we were told you've got 2 weeks work experience. So this is what we called it the fourth year at school. That's what we know the fourth year.
Right,
not year.
That's proper
10
years.
or something.
I still have no idea what that is.
No, you have to count it up.
Fourth year senior.
Fourth year senior school. We were told, go and find yourself 2 weeks work experience placement.
Cool. Yeah.
And there was a friend of mine called Mark who I was at school with, and we were the two musicians that just every lunchtime we were in the music department at school. We were playing pianos and just that's all we did was just go in the music department whenever it was lunchtime or break time or whatever. And then he said to me, I've got a work experience placement at Bonner's, which is obviously the shop that I'm from now. I thought, well, that's a great idea, but then they would only take one person at a time.
Oh no, okay.
So I wrote to Bonner's and they said, sorry, but we've already got someone. But luckily, my friend's parents, they didn't want him to go and work in a shop. They wanted him to be a scientist or something. So they stopped him from going.
Oh no! Oh my goodness!
So it gave. And then Bonner's got in touch with me. He said, actually, the placement's come available. You can come.
Yeah.
So I couldn't believe it. So because they wanted their son to be a successful something or other, it gave me the opportunity to go to Bonner's. So. I went for an interview, and in the interview, and I still remember saying this, and I don't know why I said it. Martin, who was the boss at the shop at the time, said to me, "So what do you want to do when you grow up?" And I went, "Don't know, I have a shop like this, I suppose." And I didn't, but it just came out, and I don't know why I said it back then, but But then I went on the work experience placement, and. First day was brilliant, but I used to do karate, and I did it for many years. Actually, I only gave up last year. But that night, the first day, I went to karate, and I got knocked out at karate. Someone kicked me in the face, and I got floored, and I've still got the scar now. But I had to go to hospital, and then it meant I couldn't go to the work experience placement because I had this huge black eye and about 15 stitches under my eye, and it looked like I'd been in a really bad fight.
So you only ended up doing one day?
Well, I did one day, and then I went back. I went back about 5 days later with a huge black eye. But yeah, I just absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
and then they offered me a Saturday job.
Yeah, off the back
of the work experience. Yeah, it was a little bit later. It was maybe a year later. They then offered me a Saturday job.
Yeah.
Then I was doing extra hours whilst I went to college. I did computer programming at college, but that was in 1990. So my programming skills are a little bit out of date now,
Well, yeah, I must admit, when I was at school, there was only one computer in the school.
Yeah, BBC B.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I never got to use it.
Play Granny's Garden. That's what I remember. Yeah. But yeah, so I did computer programming, which was good actually because I specialised in databases.
Yeah.
Which actually then paved the way for what's happened now. Databases is just all about being organised with your data, and that's obviously nowadays is really important. So, that's what happened, and then I didn't go on to uni. No. I went and got a job full time in the shop. Just on very, very low wages at the time, which actually, if I think about it now, even if it was below what minimum wage would have been at the time, I'm sure, but I just loved it. But you enjoyed it? Absolutely enjoyed it. Yeah.
Was it being around the music or the actual retail side of it that you loved?
Well, my father had a mail order business.
Yeah.
So I'd learned, which was he used to sell. He used to deal in cassette tapes, and back in the day, 8 tracks. Do you remember 8 tracks? It was like a cartridge you put into a machine.
Yeah.
It was before tapes. Basically, before cassette tapes. It was like a big cartridge that had tape in it.
Yeah.
But you couldn't turn it over or anything. But anyway, he used to deal in end of line. So end of line. Cassettes. So if there was an ABBA album that had come to its end of its life, they'd stopped producing it.
Yeah.
He'd buy a job lot from the wholesaler, and then he'd be the only ones left with them, and he'd be selling these mail order through the exchange of mart, And he used to accept postal orders and checks, and there was no even credit card mail order then. You couldn't even do it. So, but I learned about the power of having a database and mailing people out and things through that.
Yes.
So. Yes, I went to Bonners, and all they were doing was just retail people coming in.
Yes.
But actually, even at that young age, so by then I was probably 18 by the time I was full time. I set them up. I got them a computer. I said that you need to buy a computer. Got a computer, and I all of the customer records. We used to do all the invoices by hand.
Yes, that's it.
In one of those plastic machines, you used to push it and pull the and rip it. Exactly. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
So we used to. I got all of the invoices for the last 2 years or something, and I did it all myself, put all of the data into it, and then then what that meant was we could snail mail our customers.
Yes.
But back then, if we had a new product or something, I remember taking over the Delaware Pavilion and getting 600 people along for a product launch of a new organ or something.
Mailing them out,
just by mailing them out.
Yeah.
And if you think how times were different then, because the only time they could see anything new would either be to come to a shop or possibly an exhibition like the Ideal Home Show or something.
Yeah.
So to if there's a brand new product and no one's ever seen it before, they can't see it on YouTube because it didn't exist.
No, that's it.
The only way they could see this product and experience it would be to come to one of our shows.
Yes.
So we used to get 600 people in.
Yeah.
And we did that for a long time. That was so successful, that kind of business.
Yeah.
It would really work. Basically every time it's a new product, mail out your database. They all come to the show. You upgrade them. You do a trade-in or something.
You think how advanced that was for early 90s?
Yeah, but the business absolutely thrived on it.
Yes.
And that wasn't just us not just Bonners. It was all music retailers.
Really?
Because musicians generally will buy something, but then in 3 years' time, if something else new comes out, they want to trade up because they want the inspiration of something new.
Yes.
Because that's what music's about. It's having something new that inspires you. Yeah. So they regularly upgrade.
Is that still the case, do you think?
It is.
Yeah.
But it's not quite. I guess now that the product development isn't quite as big. The
transformation.
It's not so transformational. Back in the. in my teenage years in the 80s, I mean, the leaps forwards in technology, every time someone brought out a new keyboard, it sounded a million times better than the one that was only come out 6 months ago. But now the product cycle is about 3 to 4 years.
Is it? Yeah.
And it's incremental rather than being groundbreaking, because things sound great anyway.
Yeah.
We are seeing better technology come with connectivity and things like that. But in terms of sound, things aren't progressing massively.
No. I guess that's the same as an iPhone, though, isn't it? You think when that first came out, and wow.
Well, between iPhone and then iPhone 2, 3 and 4, the leaps were huge. Yeah. And I mean, I'm not an iPhone user, but I know that, was it iPhone 8 that had the portrait mode on the camera?
Yes, yeah.
That was a big thing.
Yeah.
But now
it's
iPhone
like
12, 13, 14. Not a lot's changed, has it?
Just the number.
But people do still want to trade in and upgrade. We find that's a big part of the business.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So we go back. What was I doing? So
we tend to do this.
So I created a database and blah blah blah. And so when was that? That was about 92 to 94ish, I suppose.
Yeah.
Then so early on in my career, when I was 18, they used to just send me down to a shopping centre with a load of, I don't know if you remember organs, we had 2 keyboards and the pedals, and people had them at home, and it was a bit of a status symbol in the 80s. You had and then if your neighbour had one, they got a better one. So, and it was a case of, if your neighbour had one, you had to get one, and you get the next model up, sort of thing. It was very much like that. Yeah. Well, they all used to come back in and trade in as well. And what they used to, Peter Bonner, who was my boss, used to send me down to a shopping centre, like Langley Shopping Centre or something, with about 12 old second-hand organs. And I'd just sit there in the middle playing them. And people would come along, and you sort of, engage with them and talk to them, and then sell them an organ. Yeah. And then we'd, like, Wednesday afternoons, the shop was closed, so we'd go out and deliver them all in the little Bedford Rascal van, But I tell you what, it was a really good foundation for learning how to sell, Yes. Because it was hard. It was really hard work, and sometimes some of the buttons didn't work on certain functions, So you know which bits not to demonstrate. Couldn't get away with that now. No. There's just no way. You can't do that sort of thing. But that's it was the times, and the customers were happy. They were getting a cash bargain, But they used to do that to me regularly, like 3 or 4 times a year. Yeah. And there was a shopping centre in Peacehaven where the walls don't meet the ceiling or don't meet the roof, so there was a gap all the way around the top of about 2 foot. And I'd sit there, it's freezing cold, and the cobbles in them sitting. It was hard work. But then we started doing these exhibitions at holiday camps, because you'd get a load of keyboard enthusiasts take over a holiday camp. Yeah. They used to do it at Caister. It was one of them. There were 1,500 people there for the week. So we'd have a stand, or we'd have a room, fill it with keyboards and pianos, and then spend the whole week selling. And I used to do about 7 or 8 of those a year as well. So that was my job, was doing that. But it really kind of taught you how to sell and understand what customers want. And so, yes.
So selling, what do you think is the key to selling?
I think you've got to put yourself in the customer's shoes.
Yeah.
That's how I always think. And you just got to think about, how would I expect to be treated? Yeah. Or what do I expect to see if I come to a shop? Yeah. Because I think that's where a lot of retailers got caught out with the internet. Yes. Was that unless your retail shop has got everything that someone wants to see, they're not going to come to you. No. They can't be disappointed when they come through your door. That's why when you go to Curry's, you'll see 150 televisions all lined up. Yeah. Because if they only cherry picked and had half a dozen, they'll never have the thing that someone went to see, so the customer's always going to end up feeling disappointed. Yeah. And if they feel disappointed, they won't come back. So I think that you've always got to put yourself in the customer's shoes and think, from your point of view, if I was buying a bed, which I'm sure you do, look at it like this, I want to make sure that when someone comes in my shop, I've got everything, so there's no reason for them not to buy from me. Yes.
Yeah, I think to some degree, although if I look at our products, we don't go down to low end.
No.
Because I think for us, our purpose is to help people sleep better. And for me, a product that really doesn't, a low-cost product won't actually achieve that. And in fact, one of my things is I would rather someone go out and get themselves a decent second-hand bed than buy a low-cost, a catalogue thing where there's hardly any filling in there, hardly any. It's just a bag of springs or whatever. It's uncomfortable from day one. So, I guess we from that mid-range right up to top quality stuff.
That's kind of us. The only problem for us is that there are products that exist that are. I mean, if I take let's talk about piano. We sell lots of instruments, but if we talk about pianos, £1,000 upwards really is the right kind of price for someone to be looking for something that's going to have a bit of longevity in it. Okay.
Yeah.
But there are products out there for £299, which are being brought into the UK by sort of direct from Chinese manufacturers in containers, and they do great videos, but to the uneducated, they look like good products. But they are awful. There's no spares support. There's no service. No. It's worth nothing if you want to ever trade it in.
No,
and we don't touch that kind of thing either.
No.
But then some of the big brands are now bringing out low-cost things to try and compete with that.
Yes.
And because we represent some of the big names like Yamaha and Roland and Casio, they want us to have them in the stores, So you can... Maybe they do bring people into the shop, but then you need to educate them once they're in the shop as to why you actually need something a little bit better than that.
Yes. I get that. Yeah.
But also, it takes just as long if you're looking in the cold retail world we're in, it takes just as long to sell somebody a £500 piano as it does a £5,000 piano.
Yes.
So, and with fast pace of today and how low margins are, you do have to be careful about what you keep in the shop. I suppose what we would do is try and have. You predominantly have your mid to high range.
Yes,
you do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But we still do have something. If someone does only want to spend a lower amount of money, they have an option with us. Yes. We won't show them 4 or 5 of that option, but maybe one. One and then one a little bit more. So they've got a little bit of a choice. But it's that balance between not disappointing a customer, or coming across as elitist as well.
Yes. Yeah,
that's what my wife's always saying to me, because sometimes I say, we shouldn't be stocking. My wife works for the business as well, so I should say So she's in purchasing actually. Okay. So we do. Sometimes I say to her, no, right, we're not going to have any of those in the shop. They're going to be an online only product. But you can't. You can't come across as just doing this high end stuff because. There are beginners. There are children and their parents don't want to spend £1,000, £5,000, £10,000, whatever. So, having said it, I think beds is probably very different, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm relating to everything you're saying. Actually, my background really was exactly the same. Sales floor upwards, and as a salesperson, you want to sell everything to everyone. So, turning away someone who wants a lower cost product. It really does pull on those strings, but at the same time, retail space is expensive, and you do have to maximise, and probably more so. And I don't know if you've seen. I mean, footfall numbers have been dropping for many years. And
absolutely, it has. It's
price commodity stuff is available everywhere, so you need to be something. Better than that.
I completely agree, and I think maybe for the business you're in, it's probably a higher proportion of people if they do only want to. I don't know how much a mattress is, but if they say they only wanted to spend 100, 150 quid on a mattress. Can you get mattresses that price?
You can, yes.
So
online, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So those customers, maybe they wouldn't even walk in your shop anyway.
Potentially not. Well, I don't know. Actually, occasionally they do.
Do they? Yeah.
But then we have clearance.
We do, but it's never that low. No, we don't do lower stuff. You know, I suppose really we try and appeal to people that want service, want advice, want a quality product. But I get where you come from, because it is really hard, because we used to be volume, and as things have progressed, and e-commerce and access to different products, I think we've found ourselves having to push upwards.
No. I do happen to know though that in our industry there are some what would be perceived as more premium shops.
Yes, okay.
And they sell, and we sell some of the same product that they do.
Yeah.
But I know that I know from the manufacturers that we are bigger and selling more.
Really? Yeah.
Of those premium products.
Yes. By bringing in people.
People who are, being perhaps more accessible.
Yeah.
Just people aren't frightened to walk into our stores.
No.
And I think from a customer's point of view, I think whatever you're going to buy, you feel vulnerable.
Yes.
Because if you don't know anything about it, which a lot of people don't know much about the things we sell before they come in, because most people are either beginners or they're buying it for their family who are beginners.
Yeah.
And maybe the same with walking into a bed shop in some ways, because there's nothing to benchmark it against.
No.
So they walk in and they're vulnerable because they don't want to, they're scared they're going to get ripped off. Let's put it bluntly.
Absolutely.
But and so I always try and make it that the stores are welcoming when you walk in. It's never dead quiet. There's always noise on, bit of music on, whatever, and make it a nice environment so they're relaxed as soon as they get in, because that's how I would want to feel. So I hate walking into a shop and having to tiptoe around.
Yeah.
Worse still, there's a piano shop in London where it is beautiful. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful piano shops.
Yeah.
And if you go upstairs to the grand piano department, it has a wooden floor.
Yeah.
And there's never any noise in there. So if you've got heels on, when I say heels, as in a pair of traditional man's shoes, not heels. Just on a Saturday. Yes. And you walk across the floor.
Yeah.
You feel like you're going to wake up the demon, which is a salesman sitting in the corner. And I just think that is the worst.
Yes.
The worst atmosphere that you could create.
No.
Especially for someone who they may well want to buy something, but they don't want to draw attention to themselves wanting to buy something. They just want to have a little look around, and then when they've got their confidence, they might want to talk to somebody.
Yes. Yeah.
But it really does feel like, it does feel like you've got this demon in the corner, and you're gonna suddenly alert them to you, and they're going to come over and pounce on you, and then try and sell you something that you don't know anything about.
No.
So I think always thinking about it from the customer's point of view will always make you successful. And I think what you do with trying to educate people is really important.
Yes, because you're right. A lot of people walking into our stores don't know anything particularly about mattresses.
No.
They've bought this one last time, they've slept on lots of them all their lives, but what's the difference between one that retails at 500 and we go up to £5,000-6,000 and it's educating them on, I suppose, the benefits of going up. And you can always say, you get what you pay for. Yes, you can. But actually, and most of our teams, it's about getting the right product. It might not necessarily be the most expensive one. So it's about trying and feeling them and feeling relaxed. And I think actually that's a key point with sales, isn't it? For me, sales isn't massively about product knowledge in our industry. It's actually connection, feeling relaxed, feeling comfortable, and that trust. Actually,
trust. It is trust.
Yeah,
it's like I said, you feel vulnerable. You walk into somewhere, if you don't know about the product, you could walk out with something you've paid too much money for and isn't right for you.
Yeah,
so
exactly that.
But you also said then, you get what you pay. The more you spend, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
To me, if I hear any of my salesmen say, I think it's such a cop out. So if a customer says, what's the difference between that one and that one?
Yeah.
And if they say, it's you get what you pay for, or something I have heard, no longer with us, when someone says to you, or a customer said to one of my staff once, what's the difference between that one and that one? And visually they look the same. And he went, about $4,500. Oh no, he's not with us anymore. Because he'd been with us a year when he said that. But that's a case of not. This is the thing. If you just put yourself in your customer's shoes, you won't get it wrong. No. It doesn't, like you say, it doesn't matter about. I mean, you do need to know a bit about the product. You've got to know. Well, I say a bit. You've got to know enough.
Yes.
So that you can explain why spending $4,000 on a mattress is better than spending $1,000.
Yes.
But you don't blind them with specifications.
No.
And like you say, just build a rapport with them. And we
buy with emotion, don't we?
Which I suppose is my YouTube videos have done exactly that. I did that. That started off as a bit of it was an experiment, I suppose. I just got a camera. I don't even think it wasn't even a phone at the time. It was just a cheap digital camera. And I thought, I'm just going to stand in the shop and I'm going to make a video. It's probably still on YouTube. I haven't looked, but it was over 10 years ago now. But basically, just stand in the shop and say, hello, I'm Tony from Bonner's. I basically treat it like when someone walks through the door, you say hello and then say, and then just talk about the differences between 2 or 3 different models. If you're thinking of buying a piano and you spend £1,000, this is what you get. But if you come over here and look at this one, this is what you get. And the video was really successful. And then, so I started doing a few more. And then people were ringing up, and my staff tell me now, it's a huge percentage of people that walk through the door say, I've seen your videos, so we thought we'd come in.
Wow.
And already you've broken down that barrier because they know what to expect, and they feel that they're coming in with a little bit of knowledge, which makes them feel secure.
You're a friendly face. It's a person, isn't it?
Exactly. Yes. And I'm not also, I think what's important is that I'm not someone they bring in to make the videos. I actually own the company, and I work in the company. I pick the phone up. I am still in the stores. If I'm around, I will talk to customers. Quite happy to. And sometimes some customers only want to deal with me because they might be pros or something. We do deal with some quite big name bands and things, and because I'm a gigging musician myself, I'm kind of like they want to talk to me, which is absolutely fine, and I like that because I think that's why they trust the business. So the YouTube thing has gone from 0 10 years ago to over 60,000 followers.
That's incredible.
So that, I suppose, that also shows you going back to the way that people trade things in. So I guess if we were selling something else, maybe you're not going to get that many. I mean, mattresses as an example, it'd probably be quite hard to build a following because they don't look, when they buy a mattress, they're probably not thinking about, I'm going to upgrade this at some point. Or I may want to buy another one, so I've got a choice. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It's more around the education, I guess.
Yes, educating people about mattresses.
And we've started doing a little bit about that. I don't know if we haven't really YouTubed it though.
No, and this is making me think.
I
should.
Well, if you just act like yourself and say, look, when you come to a Sussex bed shop, this is what you can expect to see, and this one here is that, and that one's there, that one feels a bit springier, and this one's better if you've got a bad back, and blah blah blah. Then they're more likely to come in and feel, they may come into you rather than somewhere else where they haven't seen a name or a personality and they don't feel so confident.
So just going back a bit, joining at 15, and then you say, I am the owner of Bonner's. How did that?
I don't know. Well, what happened was that Mr. Bonner died. And at that time, that was in 99, I think it was, okay. 98, 99. I got headhunted.
Right.
By one of the manufacturers called Roland, and if you look if you see on stage, you'll see Roland pianos and Roland synthesizers, and Elton John's always been synonymous with playing a Roland digital piano. Basically, I got asked to go work for Roland, and I think that my expectations of the job weren't quite aligned with what they thought the job was. There was a little bit of selling the job to me, I think.
Right.
Basically, I ended up being a sales rep on the road.
Okay.
I was told I was going to be involved in product development, and I'll be in touch with the factory now and then. And so, of course, I was 24, 25, and I was thinking, wow, I'm going to be working for Roland, which is like, amazing. Yeah. But actually, I ended up visiting shops, and I joined in May 99, I think it was, and the weather is like it is here today, like 30 degrees. Yeah. The shops that I was visiting were very quiet. Yeah. And they didn't want to see a sales rep.
No.
And one of them I remember going into, it was a shop called Morgan's Organs. It was near, where was that? It was near Guildford somewhere. Graham Morgan Watson, he's not with us now, he owned it. But I went in there, and it was like, he looked at me, he went, "You're trying to sell me Roland keyboards?" He said, "I'll tell you what, Sonny." He said, "Watch this." And he pulls out a magazine, like a keyboard enthusiast magazine, and it had some adverts in it where they were selling, people were discounting the prices of the keyboards, which is the problem we used to have before the internet. There was magazines. Yeah. So anyone who was in the know bought a magazine, and they'd buy something mail order from a magazine because it was cheaper than the shops. Yeah. So he starts ringing around all the dealers saying, "So how much would you sell me this Roland keyboard for?" In front of me, who was the Roland salesman. And I just thought he's no to be rude. Like he was just unpleasant, you know. Yeah. And generally, I really hated it. Yeah. And then, I only lasted a month. Yeah. I lasted a month there, and then, actually, whilst I was still at Roland, I know what happened. I had to, for some reason, we didn't have a kitchen at home. I can't remember what happened. Maybe the kitchen being fitted or something, but we had no washing machine. I had to go to a laundrette, and the laundrette I went to was next door to Bonner's in Grove Road in Eastbourne. So I'd left there and gone to work for Roland, went back to the laundrette, and I just felt like I was going home. So I saw Martin, who owned the company at the time, because Peter Bonner had died. So I saw Martin, and he agreed to have me back, thank goodness, because luckily I hadn't been gone very long, so they hadn't replaced me. Yeah. So I went back, and then 6 months later, it wasn't doing great. I don't really know why, really, but it just wasn't. Things weren't great with the company. Yeah. And Martin said he wanted to leave. Yeah. So me and another manager who sort of ran the guitar bit. I was running the pianos and keyboards, and a guy called Mike was running the guitars, and the two of us together approached the bank. Yes. And they agreed to loan us the money to buy the company. Wow. But something that Martin did, that owned the company before, he had gone to the landlord, because he was in a very long lease, and it was a lot of money. Yeah. He was overpaying. It was probably 30 or 40% too much for the lease. So he went to the landlord, and he said, "Look, can we end this lease early, or at least can you renegotiate the price?" And they said no. And then they said to him, "Why don't you just buy the building?" So what we did, me and Mike went to the bank and said, "We want to buy Bonner's. Yeah. But the good thing is the landlord wants to sell the building, so that could be your security on the loan." Yeah. And the bank did it. And all I had to do, my granddad had left me £3,500 in his will. I put that in. Mike put the same amount of money in. Yeah. The rest of it was funded from the bank. Yeah. And we had to give, obviously, cash flow forecasts and things. Yeah. But we budgeted for a 10% decrease in business, but it was about a 20% increase. As soon as we took over, I mean, we did refit and did it all ourselves, gave everything a lick of paint. I remember back in the day, we'd all just go to work wearing casual clothes or different clothes. First thing we did was put everybody in polo shirts, like Comet would have done, you know, and it said Bonner's on your t-shirt, you know. Yeah. And I remember a customer coming in saying, "Oh, things have improved in here. It's like it's all it's all polo shirts and customer service now, isn't it? You know, but it was completely different, and things just took off. We were meant to be paying the previous owners and the Bonners family over a number of years, and we paid it off 3 years early, and it just we turned it around very quickly.
Cool.
So how old was I then? 26.
Gee.
Yeah, I was 26. So it's mad, isn't it?
That is.
And you look back on it, you think about it now.
Yeah.
So yes, and I hadn't just bought the business, we bought the property. So, and that has been the secret actually to where we are now is property.
Yes.
By owning your own property. We don't own all our own properties now.
No.
But by back then having the property was a really real big help whenever we wanted to do anything.
Yeah.
It was easy to restructure financially.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is then when in 2005, so that was 2000, so I bought the business in 2000.
Yeah.
Then in 2005, decided to move to the Courts shop, or former Courts shop.
Yeah.
So when was that? Sorry, 2005. I was 31 then, yeah. So, but we bought that.
Yeah.
But we only managed to buy that because we still had the old properties. So they,
So did you have both shops at the same time, or did you close that one? You did too.
Well, they weren't open. Sorry, they were closed.
Yeah.
They were closed. But yes, we, for a period of time, we owned 3 in Grove Road.
Oh my goodness.
We had 3 by the time we left because we kept buying up the old Victorian shops and knocking through.
Yeah, yeah.
So we had 3. We sold those. But the bank gave us the loan for the new one without having sold those ones. So for a time, there was quite a big loan. Yeah. Back then, it felt like a lot of money.
Yeah.
For especially at my age as well. But then you have no fear when you're young,
So was that a good move? Moving to
It was a brilliant move.
Was it? Yeah.
It transformed us from being a little old worldy Victorian shop to something that, like, to be honest with you, it's more like an American music store because it had huge keyboard and piano department on the ground floor, and then upstairs was a massive guitar and drum department. And it was absolutely fantastic. I mean, I remember the opening day. I've got photos of it. There's people queuing up the street to get in, and but that was 2005. But then you had the financial crash in 2008, which didn't affect us at the time.
No.
And I remember a phone call from a supplier saying, So what are your predictions for next year? I said, seems all right. I think we've got away with it. I was so wrong.
Yes.
It didn't hit us until it's probably 3 or 4 years later. Mm-hmm. It was about 2011, 2012, maybe 2010. I'm trying to think now. Maybe we saw the first signs of it affecting our industry in 2010, but by 2012, there was another big thing that hit our business, which was the rise in mobile phone. Mm-hmm.
This also resonates.
People buying products using their phones.
Yeah.
The internet was fine, and you could get away with it being a shop window.
Yes.
So you could have a website.
Yeah.
But it didn't have to sell anything.
Yes.
It was just a really good shop window.
Yes.
As and just show what you do. Here's a few pictures of the. Not very often people put the picture of the front of their shop.
Yes.
They didn't even put a picture of the. Because everyone's proud of their shop. So they put a picture of the building on the front of your website, and then you'd say, "Oh, come to Sussex Beds or Bonners Music, and this is what we do." But you didn't actually click through the basket.
No.
But then eventually, we did embrace that. But then mobile technology came along, and I think that was when everybody really started buying things online. Was mobiles. I think that really made a big difference.
Yes.
And our website in 2012 wasn't mobile enabled really. And we made a mistake, and I've learned from this, because we bought a warehouse, or didn't buy it, so we rented a warehouse in addition to that huge 10,000 square foot shop we had. We bought a little warehouse which was an old coffin manufacturer in Eastbourne, an old factory that made coffins. We bought that, but it ended up not being big enough. So we then rented a much bigger warehouse down on the industrial estate. But actually, we weren't doing the business to make it worthwhile having that warehouse. We thought we were going to grow into it.
Yeah.
When you should always, I've learned now, do it the other way round. Just don't buy a big warehouse thinking you're going to grow it, your sales are going to grow into that. Wait until you're absolutely bursting at the seams and you're using your own garage to store stuff because you've just got nowhere to put it.
Yeah.
Then it's time to get a warehouse.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
We thought, because we changed our website platform to something that we thought was going to make it fly.
Yeah.
We then took on a warehouse, and I moved a team of people down there, down to the warehouse, had nice offices upstairs, and I had a web team and all this, and the business just didn't come. It just didn't make any difference. So a couple of years later, we had to just rein everything back in again. Try and offload the warehouse, reassign the lease. And so I know how it feels to go through hard times, and it is hard. It's really hard,
Yes.
Because it's not just the financial strain; it's then the trying to offload a property. It's difficult.
It is.
And you're in the hands of, if you do get an offer on it, you're in their hands because you know how much you need to get rid of that property as quick as possible. So I mean, I remember that that particular property down the side of it, it's on an industrial estate in Eastbourne. It was quite a nice property actually, but down the side of it were a load of pipes and they'd just been left there. But then when the next, because we had to reassign the lease, so the next people came along and they checked the pipes, and they're all asbestos pipes. They were like drain pipes, but loads of them.
Yeah.
And I remember myself being down there in the rain, like wrapping them in tarpaulins and things so that we could then try and get them disposed of. I can't remember why I was doing it myself, but I ended up just because they wanted to complete or something, but this was the sticking point. So I just thought, I'm going to get these in the back of my van and get them somewhere else so that we can complete, But you've got all that going on. You've got the financial pressures going on. And it's tough. When everything starts contracting like that, it gets really, really difficult.
Expanding is fun and exciting. And then something doesn't quite work, and then they contract a bit, and that's growth, though, isn't it? Growth isn't one straight line.
No.
And I think that's what everybody thinks is, growth is, here we go, and it's one straight line. It's not. It's really wavy, isn't it? You go on, and then it back down again and contract a bit. Then you can go a bit further forward, and then contract a bit.
And the market and the public changes. Well, what they want changes, and the way they consume things changes. I mean, our industry's been really, it's weird because you've got things like pianos and guitars, which I'm still a firm believer people want to come in and try.
Yes.
But you do get a large amount sold online as well.
Yes.
But then you've got other products which really are purely online products, gadgety type things or electronic boxes that you don't need to touch them.
No.
You can watch a good YouTube demo and then make a choice, an informed choice whether you're going to buy it or not. So that side of the industry. And if you think about things like drumsticks and guitar strings and things like that. You don't need to. I mean, people like to come in and browse. But then we're all very lazy now as well. We want to just, if you think about it, you want something, you think, I'll just go on my phone and I'll buy it because then I can go down the pub. I don't have to worry about going into town.
Parking, £8.
Yeah, exactly. And guitar strings, £5. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. But what we found, talking about things like drumsticks, so we used to have a lovely, beautiful drum department, amazing. But people stopped coming in for their consumables, so things like drumsticks, and then there's gel you can put in your hand to stop your drumsticks slipping out, all that sort of stuff. They stopped buying it from us because they were buying it online, or maybe they're buying it from our website, but they weren't coming in. So then they didn't see the sparkly new drum kits and the cymbals and the snare drums and all these things, and basically the drum market or drum shops died. And wasn't just our drum department. I mean, there were dedicated drum shops. There was huge ones. Just all gone.
All disappeared.
And now, though, and this is what I love about the internet, is that there was a drum teacher, I think he was, in Poole. And he was doing a little bit of wheeling and dealing online. But, of course, all the other drum shops have gone. And then he's then got some major accounts with some of the big drum manufacturers now, and he's selling their stuff. But now he's just opened his second warehouse down in Poole, and he's the biggest drum retailer in the UK now. And he's got a lovely big shop. It looks fantastic, you know. And that's all come from... So basically, the old method of selling drums has gone.
Yeah.
Now you've got a drum teacher, and he's got to be known purely because of online.
Yeah.
And now he's getting shops.
Yeah.
it's kind of just going...
It's a circle, yeah.
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 But...
Are you a bestseller?
Of product?
Yeah.
Well, you have brands, I suppose.
Oh, really? Like best-selling brands?
Yeah, because people are comfortable with the brand names.
Right.
So, yeah, there are some big brands. Well, I've already mentioned Roland and Yamaha. And then you got Fender and Gibson on guitars. You know, they're all really big. But what the manufacturers expect of us as retailers is getting more and more as well. You know, because there are less retailers now.
Yes.
So sometimes the manufacturers think, well, there's less retailers, so you should all be doing more.
Yeah.
They
Pressure.
don't. Yeah, a lot of pressure. They don't actually realise that actually the market's contracted a bit as well.
Yeah.
And certainly when you get
Has
periods...
it really? It's contracted?
Yeah, well, like many industries, the pandemic was immense. I mean, I think that people bought 3 years worth of stuff in 1 year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they weren't spending their money on going on holiday. They weren't spending their money going to restaurants. They had spare cash floating around.
Yes.
So what should we do? We'll buy a £5,000 mattress or have a £10,000 piano, you know.
Yeah. I'm going to learn. All this time.
Let's buy a hot tub. Let's buy a Peloton, you know.
Yeah.
And bicycles. It was huge, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But then I think some retailers got caught because they thought that was the new norm. They thought, oh, this is it now.
Yeah.
So they got bigger warehouses, bought loads more stock, and then the manufacturers, they want to see growth from you or from us. They do every year. We get targets that we have to hit. Oh, it's tough. It's tough. So we'll get, you know, we could do X amount, X hundreds of thousands or millions with one brand.
Yeah.
But then next year they give us a target. It's 10% more. They don't look out the window and see, well, it's been like Saharan weather for 6 months, and of course footfall's down like that when it's like this, unless you're selling barbecues or air conditioning or fans, which is great, you know. We're under pressure to hit targets, and then if you don't hit those targets, then you don't, you know, get some kind of extra discount or rebate or something. Then that affects your margins, and when you're only working on small margins anyway. But then you don't want to overspend, because then you run out of cash, which kills you straight away. So yes, it's a juggling act and a lot of negotiation. But yes, the brands can be tough, and you've got to tame them.
So did you start your e-commerce journey at 2012 or
properly? Yeah.
And did it take off straight away, or
it was better straight away?
Yeah.
Because prior to that, I can't remember what we were using, what platform we were on. Actinic, that was it. It was called Actinic. Actinic, which was some kind of basically it was a package that you could literally go in a software shop and buy it off the shelf, and it was a trading package. It had a checkout and everything, but I think there were different levels. Anyway, so we had that, but then we went over to something called Intelligent Retail, which is an EPOS system and a website kind of all linked together. So your stock in your shop spoke to your website, which there'd been other people doing it for years before that. I mean, I think we were probably a bit late to the party. But we did that. We're using that for a number of years, but then it was the YouTube thing that I started doing about 2015, 2016. That made the biggest difference to our business.
To your e-commerce.
Huge, both to the e-commerce and people coming in the store. And then it was at that point we took on the second shop, which was in Surrey, in Reigate in Surrey. And then 4 or 5 years later, I'd just got home from a gig, and I'd had a pint while I was playing this blues gig, you know, and I got in and I wasn't tired, because very often when you're a musician, you get home and you're buzzing, you know, especially if you've had a good gig and the place has been jumping, you know. And I sat in the lounge, and I don't know why I did it, but I emailed the MD of Yamaha UK and said, I'm thinking of opening a shop in Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it came from. And I basically said, would you be in support? And he said, well, come up and see me. So I did. I went up there.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, we'd support you in doing that. And by support, it doesn't necessarily mean they pump you full of cash, but what they do is they will do some shop fitting, or they'll give you some stock on long-term loan or things like that. But if you've got a big brand behind you, also they've got a good marketing power as well. Right. So they always help with the getting your shop off the ground, So we've got good relationships with some of the big brands. But so then we opened Milton Keynes in 2019, and thank goodness we did, because that was November 19, and then February 2020 we went into lockdown.
Yes.
But Milton Keynes gave us a huge warehouse that we didn't have before. So we had a bit of a... hang on, where were we in Eastbourne? Trying to think which shop we were in Eastbourne. Oh no, we were in Langley Road then.
Still there,
so that was our warehouse as well. So we didn't have a proper warehouse. So opening Milton Keynes gave us a warehouse. Yeah. We went into lockdown. All the other shops in the UK closed down.
Yes.
Apart from us and two others, which I'm not going to name. No. They're good competitors of ours. But there was three of us that stayed open.
Yeah.
And everyone else cancelled their orders with the suppliers. And within a week... we all saw what happened to our websites. The orders were coming in every minute, We left our phones switched on as well, because we had IP phones by then as well, which we'd only taken on because we'd opened Milton Keynes. So we took on this IP phone system. So we could just take the phones home. So we all took the phones home. We were all working on from home, answering phone calls, taking orders. It was buzzing. It was absolutely buzzing. So like 20 staff all working from home. None of the shop staff were furloughed at all.
No,
they all
really?
just working from home on their phones. And then I ended up going out on the vans delivering. And London was dead. You could just drive around London. It was absolutely fantastic. I was delivering pianos, and then people were going, "Oh, you're the guy from the video," taking on Milton Keynes gave us a warehouse and gave us a phone system, which meant we were in prime position to do good business through the lockdown. When all the other shops had cancelled their orders, and then the suppliers were coming to us saying, "Look, we've got loads of stock. Do you want to take it?"
Yeah.
We took everything we could, and we were buying. I just can't believe it now when I look back on it. The volume of stock that was coming through and going out. I mean, you'd get 20 pianos come in, but they were all pre-sold, and the hardest job was actually arranging the deliveries. It was just
good times.
But this was but you had to be careful and realise it was only a point in time.
It's hard though, because when that's coming through, you've got a scale to accommodate that, but
don't get
it's gonna.
Well, yes, we all hoped that was gonna. I tell you what, there was a trend was that people not wanting to reopen their shops. We all kind of got lazy.
Yeah.
I think humans. I don't know what there must be some kind of biological or scientific term for it, but we get. We need to be stimulated, right? Because otherwise we're naturally lazy. I think you'll just do nothing. If you could do nothing, you'd like lay on the sofa, eat crisps and watch telly, Yeah. But if you get excited, then you want to do more. It's like you go to the gym. If you don't go to the gym, you don't want to go to the gym. No. But if you start going to the gym, you'll notice after about 3 times, you think, "Oh, I want to go again."
Yeah.
But and it's just and what was I saying now? Well, what were we talking about? We were talking about
lockdowns, scaling
didn't
back.
want to go back to shop.
Yeah. That's it. Sorry. Yes. We'd all got lazy, and especially in our industry, shopkeepers thought, well, "This is brilliant. We're doing lots of bits," because eventually everyone did come back. Well, they didn't come back to work, but everyone started trading again on the telephones and online, and they were thinking, "We don't need shops. We don't need to have our shops anymore. We're just going to do appointments."
Yeah.
And for many months and even a couple of years, a lot of music shops weren't open. They were just doing by appointment only. And there's one very big guitar retailer who I understand is still appointment only. It made him switch. He just thought, "Do you know what?" Because he sells £15,000 guitars. He sells some really nice stuff. Very big brand in it, or big brand of shop in our industry. He's just got one store, but it's fantastic. He's appointment only now.
Wow. Yeah.
So, how nice would that be?
Oh, Yeah, it'd be perfect.
Not have to open the door every morning, you know.
Yeah.
But you can't.
No.
Because I think the whole thing isn't that your website works and because your shop works, and your shop works because your website works.
Yes, I think that's totally right. Yeah.
The two things work together, don't they?
They do, yeah. And it's interesting, isn't it? Like e-commerce brands are now opening physical shops.
Yes.
And I think it does complement it. You know, it is cross-channel, isn't it? And it's very difficult.
Omni-channel. Very buzzword. Well, buzzword from 4 years ago.
Yeah. But I mean, our website supports the stores, and the stores support the website.
Yeah.
But I said that's quite difficult for a traditional sales team. Still don't like the e-commerce side. They see it as taking their sales, but actually it generates more than it takes. But it's
I'm trying to instill into my staff that they're not just salespeople in the shop.
No,
they're actually an important part of a whole ecosystem that includes everything they're doing. They should be thinking not just about the shop and whether things are priced up and looking nice in the shop, but also photographing products for the website, writing about them online, making social media posts. The whole thing is all very linked together.
Yeah.
And I don't give them any kind of... They're not paid based on shop sales.
No, okay. Yeah. Are they all musicians?
If they're in the shop, yes.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Even... I suppose our only non-musicians are actually our accounts too.
Really? Yeah.
Because even all of our drivers, apart from one, are musicians.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it attracts people. They want to work for us.
It's the passion, isn't it? Yeah.
And they stay with us a long time as well, you know.
Yeah.
We have very, very low turnover of staff.
Yeah.
But we've found that if you open a new store, your web business goes up in that area.
Does it?
And they're not even people who've come in the shop.
No.
It's just that because you've got a shop.
You're a brand there now.
Yeah. And they just feel comfortable and confident buying from you.
Yes.
You know. Yeah. Whereas they may well have bought it from a competitor before, you know. So, it's interesting.
Yeah. Plans to open more?
No.
Not
at the moment. Funnily enough, we were very, very close to it last month.
Yeah.
But I just thought, there are some other things, I'm investing in some things that are making things better that we've already got, things we're already doing. I'm trying to improve on them.
Yes.
Because, maybe I don't want to go too much into it really because this is going out public, isn't it? So, yes, we are. I've just decided, do we want another premises, more staff, and the problems that brings with it, because invariably, I don't know about you, how many people do you have in an average showroom? How many staff would you have?
An average showroom is 2.
Yeah. Same for us. 2, maybe 2.5.
Yeah.
Because you need the half in case one of them's on holiday, then they can do a bit of cover.
Exactly. Yeah.
So then the problems because really you only really want 2.
Yes.
So let's say we opened a shop in Timbuktu with
covering
2 people. Yeah, and then one goes on holiday. You can't leave one guy on there on his own all week.
No.
You can get away with your day here and there when they're on their own. It's fine.
Yeah.
But also there's a morale thing when you've got one guy on their own.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's no people coming in the shop.
Yeah.
That's when also things like mobile phone usage starts creeping in. And I've seen gambling websites and all sorts going on when you're not there. I walked into one of my stores and just sat down on the computer and Google Games is open on the screen, that's what happens if the staff are twiddling their thumbs. This is why you try and make them feel it's not just about the store, it's about all the other things, that everything they should be doing is about how can we make this company successful so that it pays all of our mortgages and pays all of our families, everything, so.
Yeah. And we've mentioned, gigs. So did you ever want to be a musician?
More so now.
Really?
Yeah. I did. I always wanted to be a musician, and I've always played at the weekend in bands ever since I was 15, 16. You know,
really?
I've been playing in bands all my life. But
yeah.
I went through a phase. So, I went through a phase probably 10 years ago that if you'd said to me, will you go on tour with a big band like Robbie Williams or something, I'd have jumped at it.
Yes.
But I now know a lot of those musicians and players who play in those bands, and they actually say it's not all it's cracked up to be. The main guys get the lovely hotel rooms or anything, and you're sharing with with like Jim the roadie in a hotel room, you know, and it's like you're on tour for 3 months all around the world and you're not seeing your family and things like that. And so, but in the last sort of 3 or 4 years, I've kind of realised what I really want to be doing is just playing in London more at some of the clubs up there, and there's some really good venues actually. Kind of and not the big clubs, but the next one's down, you know. And I've started to get some work. I'm starting to get known as a keyboard player in my own right. But some of that is because I'm getting calls as a keyboard player because of the Bonner's videos. So and I'm actually really happy now because now my business and what I really enjoy doing outside, which is performing, the two things actually feed off each other. And I think that being a performer helps a business. And owning the business is helping me get the odd bit of work. It's not about the money, the performing. It's just about enjoying myself. You know, that's what I want to do. So, but it's another reason for not taking on more premises as well, because I think when if you just step back and you look at what you're already doing and how many opportunities there are that you're basically maybe not doing very well, you could easily fill your time with making those better. And I get the time now, I can go in my office and actually think about what I'm going to do next, whereas for many years I've always felt like, I was saying this to somebody yesterday actually, that I've always felt like, you ever swept your drive? I mean, when I was a kid, I used to have to sweep our drive all the time. That was my job. And there'd always be leaves, and you go along sweeping, and then you go back in and you sweep a bit more. And I feel that's how my work life was, is that I've got all these things and I just nudge them all along a little bit, and then I go back and nudge them all along again, and I never do anything properly and think about it, and I've actually, since I decided not to open anything else, because that was taking up all my headspace, thinking about how we're going to make this new project work. Once I took that off my plate, all of a sudden I sit in my office now and I think, right, what shall I concentrate on now and make that happen? So, let's ask me again in 6 months, and I'll tell you whether it's worked or not, or whether I've ended up with too many projects again. But apparently, you should only really have 2 really big things on at once, you know. But I'm terrible for taking on.
Well, we get excited.
I think it's in your blood. I think it's in you, and I hate to refer to myself as an entrepreneur. That's what everybody tells me you are, because that's what you do. And it is in you. You're always thinking, well, how can I make this work for me? I look at everything and I think, how can I make that work? It doesn't. You never think. No, I never just pass anything off.
No.
If someone says something to me, or a supplier says something to me about, you know, such and such, I think they might be selling up soon, or he's going to retire soon, or we can see there's a bit of a gap in this town. I'm thinking, how could I make that work, you know? Which I don't want to do that.
No.
I just need to, because I do some nice things in my life, you know, and I've got, you know, and it's trying to make time to use those, to make use of all the things that I want to do, you know. The things you built, your family, and you know, your holidays, and just you know, just going out down the pub on the evening rather than me. This thing, I fill my time with gigs. Well, I try not to, but my band does, because they want to do as many gigs as possible, you know. So so
what's been the most challenging moment of your business journey? It's difficult.
The most challenging, I think reshaping ourselves back in 2012.
Really?
When we went from, basically we were a general music shop, what you'd call a general shop. So we sold saxophones, violins, clarinets, drums, guitars, everything. And it was biting the bullet and saying, actually, do you know what? We're not going to sell saxophones anymore. We're not going to sell violins. We're not going to sell drums. We're just going to do basically what me and Mike, who was my business partner at the time, he liked guitars, I liked pianos and keyboards. So we said, let's just sell those and we'll do them really well. Yeah. And it was then having to go through some difficult conversations with staff. Yeah. Also, I think that your credibility with your suppliers goes down a little bit because they think you're on the down.
Decline,
they think you're declining. So then it feels, you always want to feel like you're flavour of the month, don't you? Yeah. And then it feels like you're not flavour of the month anymore. It feels like you have to fight for every little bit of support, discount, whatever that you want to get. Yeah. Because you feel like they see you going like that, so they're not excited about you anymore either, and then suddenly their pot of marketing money is going to somebody else, you know. So yes, I think that's probably the most challenging time. Yeah, I think opening Newcastle, that was challenging because of the distance.
That is. Yeah,
and it's still challenging going up there. You know, it's a long way, but I've found ways. The trains are fantastic.
Really,
so. Train from London from King's Cross to Newcastle is great, so I can spend 3 hours on the train doing work.
Yes,
and and there's a brilliant thing called Seat Frog.
Oh, right.
There's an app called Seat Frog, right? So what you do is you buy your second class ticket in advance, but 24 hours before you travel, you go onto this app called Seat Frog. You find the train you're going on, and then there are upgrades to first class, and they're done by an auction. Yeah. So for 15, 20 quid, you can upgrade to first class. Yeah. You're not sitting with anybody, which is brilliant. You sit on your own, you have your own little place, you've got a nice table and everything. Use your laptop, do 3 hours worth of work, and they come and feed you. It's like being on a plane. It's great. Yeah. So little tip there, seat frog.
Yeah, tip of the week there.
But don't use it on the Newcastle line because I'll be using it.
Yeah, okay.
And it means I'll pay more.
Oh, that's brilliant. Cool. Should we do some quick fire questions?
Go on then.
Yeah, are you ready?
Yes, have I got any more to give?
Here we go. We've got 5 this week, 5 quick fire questions. Proudest moment at Bonner's?
I think, personally, my proudest moment was the day I got the keys for the Langley Road shop in Eastbourne.
Really? Yeah.
Because I'd had to go right around the houses to buy that building. Yeah, because it was courts. It was a courts, and it was 10,000 square feet. And just the word 10,000 sounds great. It was a good marketing thing. Yeah. And I was 31. I managed to convince the bank to loan us some money, but unfortunately we put an offer in on it because it was sealed bids. Yeah. But then it turned out that although we'd put the best offer in, which we did find out we had done, somebody else, from a guy from Liverpool, had bought like 14 of the court shops in one big deal, and that was our one was included in it, so we lost it. Right. Then we had to buy it off him for £150,000 more than we'd offered already. So, and I don't think he'd even pay. He just flipped it. I think the same day we completed, he completed. Yeah. So I don't think that he'd even paid for it.
He just got 150 grand.
It took 150 grand that day from us and probably a load of others as well. But I was very, very proud of that shop. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Question number 2. What kind of YouTube video do you enjoy creating the most?
I like the ones when I'm with somebody else. So if the manufacturer sends me a celebrity, which they do sometimes, a keyboard player, they'll send a famous keyboard player down to sit and talk about a new keyboard. Yeah. And it's natural. It's like this. Yeah. It's not just me having to talk to the camera on my own. You banter off each other, and that's really good fun. Yeah, those are the best ones. Yeah, okay. I wish you played keyboard.
Oh my goodness, we'd never play though. We'd just chat. Okay, good. Question number 3. One musician you'd love to meet.
I thought really hard about this, but I always come back to the first one, which is Elton John.
Really? You've met him?
I haven't met him.
You haven't met him?
No. That's why I answered it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
No, I'd love to meet Elton John. Yeah. And just sit and talk to him.
Yes.
And not be starstruck.
No.
And it's hard not to be. No, I used to be.
Really?
Terrible. I wouldn't know. Yeah. Can you imagine if you bumped into an actor? Because all you'd think you want to talk about is their
Yeah.
Because the only way you know them is through them being an actor.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So you just go talk to them about their
characters. Yeah.
But that's not what they are.
Very different.
But you know, I went to. Do you remember Carol Decker from Tapao?
Yeah.
Sang China in Your Hand, right? She called us, or she emailed our shop.
Yeah.
And asked a question about. As it happens, she had a piano that she wanted to sell, and she emailed us, and just came into our inquiries, and it said from Carol Decker.
Yeah.
And it got sent to me. Someone said, because one of my staff said, I think this is Carol Decker.
Yeah.
So I replied to her, I said, yeah, we can help you with your piano, blah, blah, blah. I said, just checking, is this the Carol Decker? She went, yep, that's me. And so I said, oh my God.
Yeah.
I said, I'd love to make a video with you, you know.
Yeah.
And she said, all right then. So I went to Carol Decker's house.
Yeah.
Took my video equipment.
Yeah.
And luckily her son was there because he does videography.
Yeah.
And basically she wanted to sell this old piano that belonged to her dad that he'd left to her, I think, and it was in her house. And I sat there and she sang and I played China in Your Hand on her dad's piano with her singing it. It's up on YouTube.
Oh my goodness.
It's an old piano.
Yeah.
But what a moment.
Yeah.
And that's when because when I pulled into her drive, I thought I can't be the little starstruck puppy dog.
No.
I mean, yeah. So I just went, and it was great. You know, she's lovely. You know, and just made you feel relaxed and what a great performer as well. You know, but but it's hard not to be starstruck.
Yeah. I don't think I've met anyone famous.
No, I don't know.
I've got a list this long of people that we deal with, and I still would find it hard sometimes if you're meeting someone if you haven't met them before.
Yes.
It's really hard not to be starstruck.
Yes.
Luckily, a lot of the people who I deal with, there is a shared interest in, like, they want to buy something from us or they need it for their band or their studio or something. So I go up to their rehearsal and I'm see them and you're talking to them about the gear, so then that kind of relaxes you.
Yes.
You're not standing in a lift thinking, right, what am I going to talk to Elton John about?
It's been warm for quite a few weeks.
Yeah.
Need some rain on the grass. Okay, question number 4. Favourite way to unwind?
Oh, well, predictably play the piano.
Yeah.
Or just be with the family, really.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what time's for, isn't
exactly,
it? Yeah. Okay, 5th and final question. If you weren't MD of Bonners, what would you be doing?
Well, I know now what I'd be doing, which would be being a performer, like full-time musician.
Do you sing as well?
No.
Is that a no?
It's a no. I'm not going to sing for you now. No, I don't. I can hold a tune, but I work with some really good singers, and it's just I'm embarrassed, to be honest with you. I might wail in the background now and then, or put lots of effects on my voice and things, but no. But yes, I think if I wasn't running Bonners, I would certainly try and make a living out of music, of performing, just being a session piano keyboard player, you know.
Nice.
But if I'd never walked into Bonners that day, I don't know. It was. To be honest with you, I loved computers, and I still do. I still love computers. I just love computers. I love what they do for you and how you can make them do things. And so probably I'd have been doing something like that. Although I don't know if I'm. Do you ever got the patience or the?
No.
You know?
Are you someone with high attention to detail?
I think I have got attention to detail, but I'm also, if you look at my office or any room that I've been in, I trash it because I move on really quickly. So I've got the attention to detail, and I will make, if I'm creating something, I will make it the best it can absolutely be. But I leave an absolute path of destruction on the way. It's weird. It must
be creative.
Yeah. But there must be a psychologist would say, oh yeah, well you're this or you're that. They could put me in a box.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you ever done that?
No, I don't want to be put in a box.
No,
I probably am a certain type.
Yeah. Well, we all are.
Yeah.
And I think I know which one you are. Very similar to me, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, well, that's the end of our podcast for this week.
Yeah.
Well, I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been good, hasn't it? Yeah. Hopefully, we'll have you back sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe with a keyboard. I think that would be
that
cool.
Would be really cool.
Yeah.
We can come to you.
Yeah.
In the shop.
Yeah, you come do it in the shop. Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah. We've got the facility to do it. Yeah, you're very welcome.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Well, that's a wrap. So next week, we are going to be joined again by our regional manager, Lee. And we're going to be talking about a very interesting subject because it's about poor beds in Airbnbs. Yeah. We've been on several Airbnb holidays and discussed why do they never invest in their beds? Because, they're selling sleep. And yet it seems to be the bit they scrimp on. So we're going to be talking about our experiences with Airbnbs and how poor the beds have been. So that's it for this week. That's a wrap. New episodes drop every single Wednesday, so don't forget to tune in. And if you want any more unfiltered business talk, you can find me on Instagram, YouTube and LinkedIn at an Unorthodox CEO. So
thank you.
That's it.
Thank you both.
If you're listening in the morning, good morning and welcome to another day on this lovely planet of ours. If you're, on your scooter, riding along the prom, then be careful. Hold on to both of those handles while you're listening. And as you're settling into your Sussex beds, thank you very much for listening and good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I can cut now, can't I?
Yeah.